So here we go. Just got two letters from the review board, the police review board, the auditor. They got so many damn names for these people. You know, it's been 50 years since they put this farce on the citizens of Portland. They pretend like they have a viable complaint system, when in fact they never have. They have always had ways of skirting their responsibility for the way their cops treat people. And it takes a different name all the time, but as long as there's a cop on that board, as long as it's run by the city and the politicians, there will never be police accountability. There never has been police accountability in Portland, and maybe that's why the riots took place the whole summer long. Apparently, the cops just didn't learn that, hey, they're doing something wrong. It's the administrators. They're the ones that allow all of this crap to take place on the public. And they mostly pick on vulnerable people who have no voice. Well, I don't consider myself vulnerable in certain respects, and I do have a voice. And every time they do something to me, it goes right here on YouTube for the world to see, because they don't have any credibility. The Portland police, no credibility. They haven't had any credibility since their inception over 100 years ago, maybe, or so. No, the Portland Police Department has no credibility whatsoever. That's why they continue to treat people the way they do, because there's no credibility. They don't treat the wealthy this way, even the middle class in most respects. But they will treat a black man or a Mexican American or a poor white person in a discriminatory, disgraceful manner. And they will try to put crimes on you that you did not commit, or make comments about you in public that are wrong, and they know it. Now, I just got a letter from the U.S. District Court appointing an attorney for this fiasco. And the first thing I'm going to do is amend my complaint to the court and ask for several $1 million in compensation, punitive and damages. And the reason why is because the only way you can make them accountability is if you slap them in their wallet. And even then, it's the taxpayers that are paying. Now, come on, taxpayers. Do you want to pay me millions of dollars because I was mistreated by the cops? Do you want to do that? Do you think that's where your money should go, to pay off people who the cops are mean and nasty to and violate their rights? No, you don't. You don't want to do that. What alternative do you have? Okay? Here's the alternative. You stop voting for these fools that keep the system the way it is. You're the ones doing it, the voters. You're permitting this crap to go on because you consistently vote for the same lousy fools, the same idiots, the same corrupt, immoral people over and over and over. I've been watching you do it for about 60 years now in Portland. Okay? And they come up with all these different ideas on how to change the Police Accountability Office into something that sounds like accountability, but it's bullshit. It's always bullshit. They don't ever find in favor of the people or the complainant. They take away your credibility. Okay, they demean you. They dehumanize you. They demoralize you. And then they attack you. And we've been set upon by drug user after drug user after drug user, being directed by the police officer. He's a drug dealer, and he knows he isn't. The cops know he is. That's why it happened. That's why they took our car, because they wanted the videos that we took of him down there playing amongst the drug addicts. Now, these guys are bums. These people in the police accountability office, they're bums. They're just bums. There's no accountability in that office at all, period. And it don't matter how egregious it is what the cops do to the citizens, they will not find in the favor of the citizens. And I dare you to do the search and find out how many actual complaints were. So, folks, I'm just a person, a disabled old man. I see where this is all headed. I've been watching it for about 55, maybe 60 years. I've seen the beatings. Yeah, I've seen lots of cop beatings, and I've been the victim of a few myself. March 30th, 1980, Laurelhurst Park. Me and my son were enjoying the swings. He was like maybe 5 years old. It began to rain, so I took him inside the car. Then the cops arrived. They had no righteous complaint whatsoever. But I wound up having a severe beating by these three cops that came here from California. One of them had cowboy boots on, and he was kicking me and stomping me with those cowboy boots for nothing. I hadn't done a thing. There was no complaint against me. Nothing. So I know, and it's happened in the jail too, Multnomah County Jail. They severely beat my son, Thompson, and Captain, he was in the old jail, Rocky Butte. Yeah, he knows who I mean. Oh yeah, they severely beat people in that jail. I even remember the Brotherhood of the Strong. Yeah, and the Smoke 'em, Don't Choke 'em t-shirts the Portland police produced when they were busted choking a man half to death or to death. Remember that incident? So then they produced some t-shirts. The Portland Police Department did this to show their contempt for the people of this city. They produced t-shirts that said, "Smoke 'em," that had a gun on it, "don't choke 'em." So they weren't going to choke any people anymore. They're just going to smoke them. We all know what smoke 'em means. The audacity of these people to just publicly announce, by way of producing t-shirts, that's going to tell you what they're going to do to you next. They're not going to choke you anymore. They're going to just flat out murder you. And that's what they do. They do flat out murder people. I remember the history. I go back. I remember the black people that got murdered. The one in the motel holding a baby. The black woman in her car off MLK Boulevard that they shot her in the back because she reached for her seatbelt as they told her to get out of the vehicle. She reached for her seatbelt and they filled her full of bullets because they liked hearing the sound of their guns popping off. They liked the sound of murder. They liked the sound of their bang, 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 bang. That's why they filled one person with 91 bullets. And they reloaded. And there was a whole line of cops firing. One bullet would have done the trick to disable the person. But no, they have to kill. They want to kill. They love killing. That's why they kill. And they kill people who are vulnerable. They kill people who have no voice. They beat people who have no voice. And they fuck people over that have no voice. They take people's cars that have no voice. They take all of their property who have no voice. So it's all about having a voice. And this is my voice. I am a patriot of this country. So is my son. I don't care who's in power as long as they're treating the people right. I'm not a politician and I don't go for politics. But I know who's good for the country and I know who's not. Okay, I'm not stupid, nor is my son. We vote. Okay? We vote. We're independent voters. We vote for the person who's taken the best care of this country. Okay, folks? This is me right here. Been all over it for years. I've got a book full of concert passes, backstage passes from all the major bands in this country. I traveled a lot with my son so we could go hear the music and see the country. Kids that don't get to travel around and see firsthand what the country is like don't know shit about anything. Okay? Now, folks, here's the thing. If we don't stick together as a people, and I'm not talking about black and white and whatever, I'm talking about as a people, as a nation of people, we must stick together. We must defy police brutality and police accountability. There is no accountability. We have to defy them until they give us the accountability that we seek. And so far, it's just a bunch of game-playing bullshit they're perpetrating. That's not police accountability, what they're doing down there. They're just rubber stamping all the crap that the cops do. That's why the riots. And here's the thing. If there was another riot this summer, it wouldn't matter. If there was another one after that, it wouldn't matter. Because they're not getting rid of those old bastards that are the ones that are teaching the youngsters how to be bastards like they are. Their ride-alongs and all that other crap they do. It's all designed to screw the public. It needs to be changed. The cops need to be accountable, and they're not. Just because they're nice to you, they're not nice to the, excuse me, the marginal people. And we all know who the marginal people are. I'm one of them. I'm 78, severely disabled. I have a caretaker with me, my son. He takes care of me. Now, why am I living on the damn street? Because that's where they want me to be, on the street. Because I face humiliation. I face constant assaults, verbal and otherwise. My son's been assaulted, had 2 ribs broken, and his backbone was hit with a crowbar. So yeah, they want all that stuff to happen to me and my son. That's why they put us on the street, and that's why they're keeping us here. And the organizations that are supposed to house the elderly and the disabled, they're not doing their job. Okay? They're putting all kinds of ladies into apartments and paying their rent for a whole year. They're not as old as I am. They're not even as disabled as I am. They don't have caretakers like I do. And here I am living on the street while they're taking care of the women. All the women that are disabled, they're taking care of them. So it's a sexist thing. They're using taxpayer dollars, okay, in a sexist manner where they're only serving the ladies. And I'm not against the ladies being served, but I'm against the partiality that's being shown and the taxpayers' money that was given for not just the women and babies, but for the veterans and the disabled and the seniors. That's where they need to be focused on, and they're not. Okay? My son has to help me all the time, do one thing after another. He cooks for me, makes my coffee, drives me around, takes care of most of the business. Because I have so damn much pain all the time. I can't hardly function. My hands are swollen right now, even, from arthritis and this disease I have. Just frozen, so I can't hardly move them. I can just do like this mostly. And they don't care. And it's actually illegal for them to have evicted me out of an adult foster care home out onto the street. Yeah, the government did that. The county did it. And they know they did it because I filed a complaint. More than one complaint. And so you know how all these cops work together. The Gresham police, okay, are working in coordination with the Portland police. It's a cop thing, It's like the baker. He's a baker. He's got a baker's brain. The cop's got cop brains. And that's probably the worst kind of brain you could have because you can only think of everybody as a potential criminal. And that's the way cops think. They're constantly scanning for criminal activity so they can bust somebody for marginal crap that don't even matter in a righteous society. Arresting my son, for instance, at that gas station when a woman who didn't have anything to do with anything, she had just pulled up to get gas, and she started mouthing off to me while I'm talking to someone else. And she got out of her vehicle, and I'm sitting there in my wheelchair, and confronted me and made me fearful of my life. Because she was mean and nasty. She reminded me of some old jungle wench. And then I told her, hey, B-I-T-C-H, mind your own business. It's got nothing to do with you. I'm not talking to you. I said, back your fucking ass up. She goes, oh yeah? Oh, we'll see. I got something for you. She goes around the other side of her car in the back and gets out a truncheon, a big, long police stick, bigger than the cops even have, and came walking fastly at me with it raised over her head. And my son came from about 20 feet away in a flash and grabbed her and yanked down on that truncheon over her head. And in the process, one of his rings on his finger scraped her head. So she's telling the cops she's got a spot on her head where Norman hit her with something. He didn't hit her with a damn thing. He was so quick and so fast she didn't even see him coming out of nowhere. And then she gets up in the courtroom. This is how stupid this woman is, how ignorant she is. She gets up in the courtroom and says that she was defending herself against me.
A verbal barrage.
Against a verbal barrage by me. And so that's why she got out of her car and went around and got the stick and was going to hit me with it because she was defending herself against words. And she tried to claim that my son was standing right nearby me at the time that she raised this club over her head, which is a bold-faced lie, and she knows it. But here's how stupid she is. The people across the street, Collision Repair, who we've known for many, many years. My son used to go in their shop when he was a lot younger. They've been around Northwest Portland for a long time. She says, "Oh, there's a video over there. I'm sure there's a video that saw the whole thing." And if that's true and they do find the video, it's going to show that she was a liar. That she was defending herself against me and my son both, when in fact my son was not even nearby even. He was staying at the car where I told him to stay.
Against a verbal assault, she says.
So she defended herself with a club on an old man, 78-year-old disabled man, who I wouldn't have been able to stop her if she wanted to hit me. My son knew that, and everything indicated she was going to. She was mad and angry and came walking at me at a fast pace as I moved backwards. And that's what my son went to jail for. The cop, who was the one that made the decision, took this away from the first officer on the scene. Then when he realized that he was wrong, because the law did not dictate my son get arrested, because he had no weapon. In order to be guilty, you have to have a weapon. He had no weapon. She did. So in my eyes, she's the one that's guilty for the incident and for an assault. What she did is threatened a senior disabled citizen and made me fear for my safety and my life. And the cops don't even give a fuck about that, because their agenda is to get me or get my son. And that's been their MO for years and years and years. That's why he got charged. His first charge ever was a third-degree charge, misdemeanor. And that was like 18, 19 years ago. And that was his only charge. And since then, municipalities have tried to make a criminal out of him. But he's not a criminal, and he doesn't do criminal stuff. So that's why they try to put the criminal stuff on him and get people to lie. And they've done that. They've done that in 2004. Yeah, they did. Anyway, folks, here's the bottom line here. The Portland police are corrupt and immoral. The newer officers that are arriving on the police force are being really cool, okay? And it's the older cops, the ones that have been hanging around for years because they like what they do, and what they do is they beat people up, they murder people, they slaughter women and children as long as they're black or Mexican. They feel like they can have their way with them. Or as long as they're poor and old and senior and disabled. See, that's who they're picking on. I haven't done anything to anybody except report on the friggin' cops. That's my crime. And that's the reason why almost daily they send some idiot down in a vehicle called Central City Concern, who used to be a drug addict and a street person. And he comes over to us and tries to demean us with his bullshit. And all we just say, hey, motherfucker, you're a drug addict yourself. You're a homeless dude. You're just driving around a city truck, but you ain't got no power, no authority to do anything. So get the F away from us and leave us the F alone, you lousy, low-down piece of crap. Okay? Central City Concern, they're not concerned about anything. They're only concerned about the wealthy citizens, and that the citizens who are poor stay away from the wealthy. Yeah, how about that? Can't be homeless around the wealthy, or around their restaurants where they eat, or where they shop. But it's okay to do that to just any old buddy. Anyway, folks, this has gone on long enough. I just wanted to give everybody an update, and I most particularly want the cops who are on right now while I'm talking. I want them to hear what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, ain't nothing gonna change till you change. And there's always gonna be citizens that are gonna want accountability. Always. So it's time to stop fooling the citizens of this city and get some real cop accountability. And as long as the union runs the police department, there won't be any. And what needs to happen is the government needs to disband all unions of public employees. They don't have a right to go on strike. They don't have a right to do as they please because they're a government employee. But they take those rights as part of their job, even though it's not in their job description. So that's our message to you, Mr. Police Chief. You're part of the problem. You're allowing this to happen. You know what they did to me. I wrote a letter to you. You can't sit there and say that what they did to me and my son by taking our property is a good thing or a right thing. And you allowed it to happen. You did. You're in control of them people. And to the mayor, you, mayor, what's the matter with you telling them to give me back my property because they have no righteous reason to have it? I haven't been charged with a crime. I haven't committed a crime that gives them the right to take my vehicle. Just because the guy says he's searching for a crime, he's searching for a crime amongst my belongings. Searching for a crime. Well, prepare for the federal lawyer, folks. Yeah, because the case is going before the U.S. District Court. I just got appointed an attorney just now, today. And the facts are the facts. All the shit they did to us will be aired out in the court, where it belongs, not in the hands of these idiots and fools that get appointed as police chiefs and so forth and so on. The majority of the police department is pretty okay. But the rogue officers, the bastards who have been on the job for a very long time doing the same thing that they're doing right now, okay? Those assholes, those idiots, those fools, those brutal people, they know who they are. They look at, maybe they can't even face their own face. Maybe they just avoid looking in the mirror at themselves and asking themselves, who am I and what am I doing? And why are you doing it? It's not part of the job to be mean and nasty and cruel and to violate people's civil rights. What makes you guys think that you have the right to do all that? And you know damn well you don't. Most officers obey the law and do their job. But we know who the rogue officers are because they're on my videos. And that's what I told Internal Affairs. If they're assholes, they're on my videos. If they mistreat people, they're on my videos. I don't care who's doing it. So there you go. Anyway, folks, stay patriotic. Love your country. Love your fellow man. Bye.